Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know this is a new day for our country. We just inaugurated the 46th President of the United States, President Joe Biden. Hello, President Biden. I hope you're doing well. And Vice President Kamala Harris. Historic, the first female Vice President of the United States. Pretty incredible, among other historic achievements for former Senator Kamala Harris. So we are in a new historic time, and this is interesting. You'll see this tweet on your screen. The South Korean president said America is back. This was reported by Laura Bicker, who's a BBC Seoul correspondent, and she's translating what the South Korean president wrote. President Joe Biden, congratulations on your inauguration. America is back. America's new beginnings will make democracy even greater. Together with the Korean people, I stand by your journey towards America United. Pretty incredible, right there. In another tweet on your screen, and this tweet is from Matt Weisser, and Matt is a national political reporter at the Washington Post. Matt reports that President Biden, with a stack of executive orders, including getting the United States back into the Paris Climate Accord, ending the Muslim ban, and requiring masks on federal property. Now, like I said in another video, the president cannot mandate that all of us wear masks across the country because, that's we don't live in a communist country. But the president can mandate masks on federal property, including the White House. So you're not going to see any shenanigans on the grounds of the White House, or for that matter, any federal properties, because that would be a violation of the law. And so that's super interesting that President Biden would require masks on federal property. Hey, well, better late than never. Here's a tweet on your screen, and this was reported by NBC News. President Biden signed three executive orders. One was a mask mandate and social distancing be kept on federal property that I alluded to earlier. The second is an executive order on racial equity and support for underserved communities. And the third is rejoining the Paris Climate Accord. Wow, this is a lot of work happening pretty quick. By the way, if you've noticed, if you notice the previous administration's schedule since the election, the schedule simply said we'll be making a lot of calls and be conducting a lot of meetings. So I read a lot of comments saying that, all right, let's hope work is being done. But here we can see work being done. Speaking of work being done, let's actually hear what President Biden had to say. Let's roll the tape and hear what President Biden had to say.
Executive orders over the next several days, the week. And I'm going to start today. The compounding crisis of COVID-19, along with the economic crisis following that, and climate crisis, racial equity issues, and some of the executive actions I'm going to be signing today are going to help change the course of the COVID crisis, and we're going to combat climate change in a way that we haven't done so far, and advance racial equity and support other underserved communities. We're going to rebuild our economy as well. And these are just all starting points, and we're going to, in the process of rebuilding the economy, do what I said throughout the campaign and while running, that rebuild the backbone of the country, the middle class. And so there's going to be a lot of focus on that, and I think some of the things we're going to be doing are bold and vital, and there's no time to start like today. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm proud of today's executive actions. I'm going to start by keeping the promises I made to the American people. A long way to go. These are just executive actions. They are important, but we're going to need legislation for a lot of the things we're going to do. And the first order I'm going to be signing here relates to COVID, and it's requiring, as I said all along, where I have authority, mandating masks be worn, social distancing be kept on federal property, on interstate commerce, etc. So this is the first one I'm signing. And the second one I'm signing here is the support for underserved communities, and we're going to going to make sure we have some bedrock equity, equality as relates to how we treat people and healthcare and other things that we'll give you copies of these executive orders. And the third one I'm going to sign, and that's what I'm going to do while you're all here, is the commitment I made that we're going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord as of today.
So guys, let's talk about this. You guys Mr. President.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Please, guys.
Here's a tweet on your screen from Willie Geist, the NBC News host, and he reported Chris Wallace just told the Fox News audience of President Biden's speech. I have been listening to these inaugural addresses since 1961. John F. Kennedy's ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. And he said, I thought this was the best inaugural address I ever heard. Pretty significant words coming from Chris Wallace from Fox. And speaking of significant, here's a tweet on your screen from Geoff Earl. And Geoff is a US deputy political editor of Mail Online. And he reported mask in the Oval, coffee on the Resolute desk. Pretty incredible picture on your screen with President Joe Biden himself wearing a mask, which is now mandated on federal properties. Now, let's shift gears to stimulus for just a second, everybody. You'll see this article on your screen that was published in Bloomberg that says Biden's stimulus gets a skeptical response from Republican moderates. Now, this is super interesting. Mitt Romney from Utah and Lisa Murkowski from Alaska said that, hey, we just did something. We just passed $900 billion. And Schumer could try to bypass the Republican Party because he does have that power. So, let's just wait and see what happens. But again, Senators Mitt Romney from Utah and Lisa Murkowski from Alaska said that it was too soon because a bill had been just recently enacted, with $900 billion in spending. Here's a quote on your screen from Mitt Romney, who said this to reporters: "We just passed a program with $900 billion in it. I'm not looking for a new program in the immediate future." And Senator Murkowski said she does not disagree with Biden that more stimulus is needed, but she said she needs some time to consider it. She said, and this is a quote from Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, "The ink is just barely dry on the $900 billion, and what the president is proposing is significant, $1.9 trillion. It's going to require, I think, a fair amount of debate and consideration." So, the President Biden staff is already reaching out to lawmakers across the aisle, and a Democratic member of the group, who I call the conservative Democrat, Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia, said there are early talks about a meeting between Democrats and other members of the Senate and Republicans that could occur within days. And Manchin told reporters, "We're going to meet with them probably this weekend." Susan Collins from Maine, who, by the way, knows President Joe Biden, they've talked before, and they do have a relationship that goes back a long time. She said, "We will be meeting with one of the new president's economic advisors within a week." So that's good. They're getting to work, which is good. Now, keep in mind that the $1.9 trillion stimulus may turn out to be a bit too ambitious. Here's a quote on your screen from Jason Furman, who served as the head of the Council on Economic Advisors under President Barack Obama. He said on Bloomberg TV, even to get 50 Democrats on board, my guess is that number has to come down. So we're not going to see 1.9 trillion. I do want to set expectations for our viewers and subscribers properly. Now, Schumer did make some interesting comments. Chuck Schumer, the new Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, he said he'll make the chamber more energetic and bold solutions, and he pointed towards Biden's goal of having another stimulus relief package. Here's a quote on your screen from the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer. "It's going to take me a little while to get used to this, to say President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, because this is all so brand new." He said, "The Senate will tackle the perils of the moment," which, by the way, refers to the impeachment. He said the once-in-a-generation health and economic crisis. He also said it was important to be bipartisan. He said the Senate works best when we work together. Now, here's a quote from America's favorite senator. I don't think so, but I just called him that. The Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. By the way, I don't know if you folks know this. Here's a little bit of trivia for you. When Lindsey Graham flies on Air Force One, he has a standing order on Air Force One for strawberries and cream as dessert. Just some completely useless trivia that I thought I would throw out there, because when you fly on Air Force One, you have people coming and serving you. It's all it's part of what our elected officials get, what the president gets. But Lindsey Graham likes strawberries and cream. So that's extremely valuable information that I'm pretty sure you're going to remember tomorrow morning. So Lindsey Graham said the best thing that could happen to president is for the bipartisan group to get back together and come back with a proposal. Okay. And by the way, he's not part of that bipartisan group, Lindsey Graham. So he himself is not part of a group. So he's commenting on what would be best for the president would be for another group that he's not a part of to come and talk to the new president. I guess that's okay. I'm pretty sure you could talk to the president yourself. He said there's space for the deal, and he did say that he was opposed to the $15 an hour. That's what he said. Now, the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell does face some challenges, with a majority of his members saying no to further aid. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. 6 Republican senators did vote against the $900 billion package. So I'm pretty sure they are not going to vote for a package that's close to $1.9 trillion. And on a final note, the Biden administration's new US Treasury Secretary, the Biden pick for the new US Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, made the argument to Senate lawmakers in the past 24 hours that historically low interest rates should necessitate more economic help, a big package now. She did get objections from Republicans on the Senate Finance Committee, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And on a final note, here's a tweet on your screen from Tim Dickinson, who's a senior writer for Rolling Stone. Andrew Jackson, who was in the background to Trump, has been replaced by Benjamin Franklin, who's now in the background to President Biden. In fact, this is so telling, this is so significant. Let's see these images in full screen mode. There you have Andrew Jackson behind Donald Trump, and right there you have Benjamin Franklin close to Joe Biden. Pretty significant, pretty telling. And Maggie Haberman from the New York Times is reporting something that may make some individuals unhappy, but she's reporting, isolated and shunned at the end, the president's aides tried to build a crowd for his send-off, but only a couple of hundred people showed up, and almost none of his current senior officials. The vice president did not show up. The Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy did not go to this send off, and they instead went to church this morning with President Biden. So that in and of itself is pretty telling. And they were all there for the inauguration. All of this is highly significant. So getting back to the tweet from Maggie Haberman, the president's aides tried to build a crowd for his send-off, but only a couple of hundred people showed, and almost none of his current senior officials. Several who didn't attend said they didn't even watch it. So it's pretty clear that the crowd that was expected for the Trump send-off, and also the crowd of protesters that were expected during the Capitol inauguration, didn't quite pan out as planned. And so that's where things stand right now. Oh, and I needed to mention one more thing. The majority leader of the House, Steny Hoyer, was talking to President Biden, and he said, "Mr. President," and it seems President Biden whispered to him, "Joe," and then he said, "No, Joe, you're Mr. President." And then he made an interesting remark about their marriage. Let's take a look.
Mr. President. No, Joe. You're Mr. President. And we are so proud of that. Dr. Biden, he makes you call him Mr. President? Marriage is about to get rocky, I can tell. On behalf of the Joint Congressional Committee on the inaugural ceremony.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We live in a new day and age. We have a new president, and I'm hoping that we can finally turn the chapter on the past and move forward together. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. We release videos every single day, and I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. I would greatly appreciate that. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Now, the unique thing about Twitter is I'll show you my Twitter feed right here. I read a lot and I retweet all the stuff I'm reading in real time. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll be able to understand what I'm reading. I'll retweet in real time, and you can get breaking news and alerts on Twitter. So please make sure to follow us on Twitter. This is the right moment for us to come together, to be united as a country, because the one thing that we can all agree on is that it's time to move forward together. For me, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm American. We are all Americans first. So let's wish the new administration all the best. Let's wish President Biden all the best. Hello, President Biden. And let's wish Vice President Kamala Harris all the best. Hello, Vice President Harris. Let's wish them all the best so that we can all be successful as a country, because this is a time again for us to move forward together. Please share this video with just 2 friends or family members. That's 2 friends or family members. I would greatly appreciate it. You'll find a link in the description section below to all our resources so you can check them out for yourself. So definitely make sure you do that. And also please comment below and become a part of our growing community. Our community is highly intelligent, highly respectful, bipartisan. So once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.